Many early adopters who began mining are growing impatient with the launch, while many others, particularly new adopters, are already tired of waiting and have even stopped mining, while others are looking for ways to sell their Pi. This has caused many people to avoid mining, while many others have begun to believe the explanations offered by skeptics. If that describes you, I don't blame you. In terms of Twitter followers, Pi Network has surpassed 2 million. As users from all over the world access the platform, the Pi Network community continues to expand quickly. On November 15th, the team at Pi Network tweeted to celebrate reaching 2 million followers and to thank the community for its support of the growth. A reliable indicator of the power of a crypto community is the number of followers on Twitter. Numerous tens of thousands of people like and comment on Pi Network posts on a regular basis. As a platform for distributed mining rewards, Pi Network benefits from increased user participation. The Pi community is looking forward to the Pi mainnet's arrival. There are several signs that the mainnet might be approaching soon. The progress of the enclosed network and the KYC progress are important indicators. The enclosed network has already run for more than 5 months longer than anticipated, and the Pi team has confirmed that millions of users have completed their KYC. The team has not, however, relayed any confirmation regarding the launch of the mainnet. Launch of the Pi. Everyone has the same question on their mind. When will Pi Network go public, or even better, when will Pi Network actually launch? The same question is being asked by a lot of new miners as well as veterans. If we must base our decision on what was stated in the white paper for the Pi Network, I will quote, "The official mainnet of the Pi Network will be launched, which is expected towards the end of 2022, when the community feels the software is ready for production and it has been thoroughly tested on the testnet." However, if you carefully read the document, you'll see that no specific date was mentioned within the proposed last quarter. We would be looking at Pi Network launching on December 2022. It's easy to understand why. Before launching, there are many things to consider. The following are among these. Only accounts that have been verified to belong to specific real people will be honored during the migration to the main internet. The currency will be completely decentralized, with no single entity in charge. All fake or duplicate user balances will be forfeited. Phase 1's Faucet and Pi network emulator will be turned off, and the system will then run continuously on its own. This stage allows for the connection to exchanges and the trading of Pi for other currencies. While many early adopters of mining are growing impatient with the launch, many others, particularly more recent adopters, are already tired of waiting. While others are looking for ways to sell their Pi, some have even stopped mining. This has caused many people to avoid mining, while many others have begun to believe the explanations offered by skeptics. If that describes you, I don't blame you. However, you must also be aware that this coin is based on finance and as such will abide by the regulations established before it. If you're ready, let's start by looking at how I determined the day that I believe the Pi network will go live. Bitcoin was created in January 2009 and released that same year. In October 2012, Coinbase opened for business. Vitalik Buterin, a programmer, created Ethereum in 2013. Additionally, the network launched on July 30, 2015. In 2013, IBM software engineer Billy Merkus and Adobe software engineer Jackson Palmer created Dogecoin as a joke. July 5, 2019. Dogecoin was added to Binance, and soon after, every other exchange. You'll observe that, with the exception of Bitcoin, there is a trend toward a waiting period before cryptocurrencies are listed on any exchange. The public's acceptance is the cause. Supporters of Dogecoin had a strong belief in it and actively promoted it. After being created, every cryptocurrency begins to develop a community that accepts it and supports the venture. In essence, that's the only way the cryptocurrency will endure or remain relevant. In the case of the Pi network, acceptance and a community were already being established before the official launch. As of right now, there are 35 million active Pi network pioneers, and that number is rising every minute. As this figure rises, it ensures that the Pi network will remain operational when it is eventually launched or listed for exchange trading. However, a yearly calendar is something that every financial institution has, and cryptocurrencies are no exception. And the Pi network is not forgotten in this instance. I discussed the potential cost of the Pi network in one of my videos, but I also provided an explanation of how I arrived at that conclusion. In order to explain how I determined the date for the Pi network's launch, I'll also go in that direction. I'm going to suggest a date to you for the launch, but I'm not going to suggest a date to exchanges for the listing. You should be aware that we anticipate the Pi network's launch and listing on exchanges to occur on the same day. I'm sorry to let you down, but they're not the same. It will officially become available to everyone worldwide when the Pi network launches, though it may not necessarily be listed on any cryptocurrency exchanges. On March 14, 2019, mining was introduced and the Pi network was created. Since that time, the Pi network has maintained a trend with the estate. You must view the video I made about the date to learn more about that. I'll leave a card at the top of the screen with a link to the video and a link in the description. As a result, you'll see that the Pi network keeps the date and makes a point of mentioning it at all significant events. For the creation of the third-party app, from the Pi network's anniversary day, now referred to as the hackathon's Pi date. Although it wasn't missed, there are other factors as well. I can already hear some of you saying, "I know where he's going." Let me provide more evidence. Every business has its own financial year. Contrary to popular belief, not all businesses officially launched in January of each year. This means that when a company begins operations, the start of its financial year will also be considered. Since Pi Network began mining in March and on March 14th, which has been a date to remember for Pi Network, it only makes sense that the launch date for the Pi Network will be around that same time. Likewise, if a company begins operations in July, for example, it will mean that the company will close the year around the same month and time the following year. As a result, rather than the end of 2022 as many of us would assume and expect, the last quarter of the year for Pi Network will most likely be in March 2023. As a result, neither the white paper nor any other document made a clear mention of the actual date. Many of us have been involved in mining for a very long time, and some of us have been doing it for the past 18 months. The whole point is to not give up just because the launch dates appear to be off or otherwise dissimilar from what we anticipated. The goal is to support the network while work is being done to make the pilot as expected and promised, and to be in a position to do so by the time the Pi network launches. Keep in mind that cryptocurrencies depend on the support they receive, so be honest and realistic. Pi network is the future, and cryptocurrencies are that future. And the Pi network has a significant advantage over the rest of the currently active cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. In my upcoming video, I'll discuss how cryptocurrencies will be crucial to the future and which ones will actually offer the value and price that will alter history. Remember that the mining rate will continue to exist until the mainnet now that we have a good idea of when the launch date is likely to be. Keep mining up until my next video.